Hello everybody, good to be with you again. I've got just some clips of some shenanigans and water play with the monster and a landing at the end that I'll narrate. Just enjoy the next few clips.
That's badass.
Okay folks, I'll jump back in here with a little narration on a landing that I've made on a bar here. I call this bar Refuge Bar. Now I've showed several videos of me and my buddies landing this bar in the last few videos, but it's the only bar that's out on any of the two rivers right now. This is a little different approach and a little different touchdown area. The wind was coming from a different direction this day, and so I had to approach it and touch down. Didn't have as much run out here once I got down on the bar. It was the bar, the usable part of the bar was much shorter. I'd say probably 250 feet, and you from the water's edge till the sand got really rough and would have caused real problems were you to run out into it. But anyhow, I was just out flying. It was a cool winter day, and temperatures probably were in the high 40s, maybe the low 50s, and you can see I'm just smoking along there with the pipe. And a lot of folk have asked me about that styrofoam that I put in my canopy right there, and obviously that's to kind of cut out a little wind. I built the monster to be just basically a little workhorse, and didn't worry about sealing out my canopy real good, but I've got it sealed out now to where there is actually no air that comes in. I have no heat in the airplane, but I get a lot of greenhouse effect from all the glass, and so whenever I kill all the air, the draft that comes in, I've got a really warm cockpit, and I don't fly in anything cooler than about 40 degrees anyhow, so it works out well in regards to that. But you can see here I'm kicking it over into a slip. I probably got on 2 notches of flap already by now, and I'm going to be approaching and touching down just past the water's edge there. And you have to get right on the edge of that bar because, as I said earlier, it's less than 300 feet usable here, and your run out is real critical because there's debris on the left side and really wash out sand dunes on the right. So you got to come in and you got to plant it right here at the water's edge. So it's important that you are capable of hitting your spot, put it down there, and then again, obviously, do the little run out there, get on the brakes and avoid all the debris, and you come to a stop there, and you just kind of size up where you at. And I'd sit here for a second, take things in, and then I shut down, sat for a while. And then after I've been on the bar for a while, I don't know how long I sat that day, probably about an hour, I'm getting ready to power up, but I'm going to go out right here to my right, so I kind of taxi forward just a little bit and power up, get the tail up, and after I get the tail up, I get started and I'm off and away. But also want to put up right here at the end, I've got a little song that I made up, a little ditty for some of my pilot buddies that sometimes think that I'm a little bit reckless in my flying, but I made this up for them just to enjoy here at the end. Thanks.
Riding along in my aerial plane, just so happy I can't explain. 500 feet like I know I should, would get a lot lower if I thought I could. I am the old and bold, they say, will never live to see the day. Well, every pilot is a pro until they line up at the show. This kind of flying ain't for you. There's plenty other things to do. The moral of this little song, now get this, fellas, it's living, let live and get along. Doodly 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 doo. Let live and get along. Doodly 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 doo.